Welcome to Math Soul. In this video, we are going to learn what is domain and what is range. And as I mentioned in my previous video, we mostly come across with these terminologies when we are dealing with the function. Domain is the sets of all values of x. Range, the sets of all values of y. That's the easy definition, and this is easy way to explain students. They can understand the domain is the value of x and the range is the value of y. I would say the possible value of x, possible value of y, because it cannot be always the all real numbers for x for all the function. So here I put already few graphs to explain domain and range, and I believe that it would be easier for students to understand what really domain means and what really range means, rather than just memorizing the definition and just go with lots of functions and try to explain. The graph is the simplest way of representation of domain and range. Let's start with an example with the straight line. We have a straight line here, x-axis, y-axis. And I'm asking, what is the domain? If I write down that function, it's basically y equal to probably say 2x plus 1. But even though you not necessarily have to know that y equal to 2x plus 1 for this line, you don't need to know that equation or that straight line equation. Without knowing that straight line equation, we can straight away say what is the domain and what is the range. How? As I said, the domain is the values of x. What are the possible value of x for this graph? So if you look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are going positive values of x. And if you hide that negative side, you can see this graph is going unlimited, like infinity, up to infinity, positive infinity direction. So it can be positive infinity for x values, right? Okay. If you hide that positive side, you can see the graph is coming down to the negative x value as well. This is the negative side of x, right? So this graph is coming to the negative side of x, and negative infinity is not stopping anywhere. So it means our x can be anywhere positive value or anywhere negative value of that line. And this line, there's a real number line. It means we can say that our x value can be any real numbers. So our domain for this, I can say all real number. And then range, and as I said, range is the y value. So if you hide that negative side y, you can see your graph is going all positive side of y. If you hide that positive side of y, you can see your graph is coming down to negative side of y as well. So it's not stopping, it's coming on like infinity, negative infinity. So again, you can see it's any number can be possible for y in this line. So it means all real number. What I'm trying to say that x can be any value of positive, any value of negative, y can be any positive value or any negative value, because there is no restriction for it. So this is our domain. So domain is x value, which is all real numbers, and range is the y values, which is all real numbers in this case. Okay. Here we have a parabola, and I'm asking what is the domain and range for this graph. And it is obvious that your graph, if you hide again the negative side of the x, you can see the graph is going like that, and it's never ending. Again, it's going like infinity. So it's never stopping here, right? I'm not giving any restriction. So it means it can cover up any positive value of x. Again, if I hide the positive side, you can see the graph is coming to any negative side of x. So it means, again, I can say our domain is the all real numbers, all real number. Okay. Now, how about the range? Range is the y values. Now, whenever we are talking about the range, we are looking at the y values. When y values, you look at the positive y first, you can see the graph is going all the way positive value. It's going like that. It means it is covering all the positive values. But if you look at down that negative side of y, you can see the graph is not coming. The minimum value of the graph, this is the minimum point of this graph. So the minimum value of the graph is 0. So it's not coming to the negative y. So the negative y is, the graph is not coming to the negative side. It means our range y is restricting here. So y should be greater equal 0. So our range will be y which is greater equal 0. I can say that it is 0 or more. It cannot come down. It cannot be negative. So it could be 0 or more. So this is our range. If you look at here, our domain, as again we are looking for x, and you can see the x is going like this graph is going in a positive, any positive value is going like a positive infinity, but negative side is not coming. So it means the minimum value for x is 0. It cannot come this negative side. So in this case x is greater equal 0. You can say either 0 or more. It cannot be less. How about the range? So the range for this graph, you can see it is going positive y, because when I'm talking range, again positive y is going, the graph is going positive y. The graph is also coming to the negative y, infinity. So there is no restriction for the y axis. So I can say y could be anything. So it can say any real numbers, right? So I can say all real numbers, all real number, as it is a real number line. The lines are the real number line. Okay. Now, if we look at this one, this is also parabola. But when you see that x-axis, the graph is going all positive x, yes. The graph is going all negative x as well. So it means I say, okay, our domain will be all real numbers. But if you look at the range, you can see the y, the minimum value of y is 2. It's not going down to 2. It can be 2 or more. So I can say y is greater or equal to 2. So before it was 0 because it's starting 0 and then from 0 to more. But here it starts from 2 and 2 to positive direction. So this is the minimum, this is the minimum value of y. Now if you look at a circle, you can see the x is a limited, positive up to here, it cannot go more than that. Negative up to here, it cannot be less than that. For y, this is the maximum value and this is the minimum value. It means if I say this is our 2, for example, and this is minus 2, this is our plus 2, this is minus 2, because it's a circle. So let's say the radius is 2 millimeter, centimeter, whatever. So it's a 2 unit. And then you can say, okay, our range or domain first, our domain x is a more than minus 2 but less than 2 or less equal to. So what I'm saying that it is either minus 2 or more or 2 or less. Sorry, I'm talking about the x. So when I'm talking about the domain, I'm talking about the x. So the value would be 2 or less or minus 2 or more. That's what I'm trying to show. Minus 2 or equal or more, but 2 equal to 2x could be equal to 2 or less than 2. Same way for range, minus 2, it's not x, it should be y 2. So what I'm saying here, y is a minus 2 to 2. This is the limit. It cannot be more than 2 or it cannot be less than minus 2. So that's the restriction. So from the graph, it's very easy to, by looking at the trend, how it's going, and we can define, okay, what could be the possible value of x and what could be the possible value of y. And the possible values of x is the domain, so the sets of all x values, and then possible values of y is called range. So that's how we can easily find our domain and range. If we have even an equation given, you can easily see that this is all real numbers, all real numbers. For example, if it is given y equal to 2x plus 1 and I say, okay, what is the domain and range, you can just say, okay, because you are free to choose any value of x, there is no limit. You can choose x equal to 0, x equal to 1, x equal to 2, you still get y, corresponding y. If you go for x equal to minus 1, x equal to minus 2, still we are getting, if you substitute x equal to minus 2, you are getting the y value. So nothing stopping to choose any value of x. So you are free to choose any value of x. It means your domain could be any real numbers, and you are getting, when you're substituting x values, different x value, you are getting different y, and it is coming as a positive, negative when you are doing the substitution. And that's how you can determine, okay, So y is also coming negative side, positive side, and also 0. So it could be all real numbers. So that's how we can also determine, by looking at the equation and doing the some substitution of different values, we can determine that what is the domain and range for this equation or for this function. So now these are the 3 questions I'm leaving for the students to determine what is the domain and what is range for these 3 questions, so these functions and that graph. So in the next video, I will try to show you one-to-one and many-to-one functions and its importance. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more up-to-date videos, please subscribe my channel.